So I want everyone to raise their right hand really high for me. Nice. Okay, so leave your hand up if in the past, at some point in your life, you have ignored your intuition, and as a result, maybe something kind of went tits up. Right, everybody. Okay, cool. Leave your hand up if there's been a time when you have followed your intuition, and as a result, something amazing or miraculous kind of unfolded as a result of that. Awesome. Okay, leave your hand up if you would like to learn how to really strengthen your intuition and live a more heart-centered life. Awesome. You're all in the right place. Cool. Because tonight we're talking about how to strengthen our intuition. This is something that we're not taught in school, obviously. I wish there was a class on this. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy over the years. But it's something that I feel really, really passionate about, because for me, my entire business and my entire life is built on intuition. Everything I do is built on intuition. I don't have a business plan. I don't have a business model that I follow. It's built on intuition, everything I've done. And there's been times in my life where I have set up an entire mastermind program that I was thinking of doing, spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and I woke up one day and I was like, doesn't feel right. And my husband's like, what do you mean? Doesn't feel right? It's gotta feel right. I was like, no, it just doesn't feel right. And he was like, all right, we've got to listen to it. And I canned the whole thing. And I'd spent thousands of dollars, so much time creating this mastermind, and then it never went out anywhere. And another example was I was about to do a big tour last year, and again, my intuition, one day I woke up and I was like, it just didn't feel right, and I canned the whole thing. I had sold tickets to that event and I refunded everyone, of course, but that was just another example of, for me, following my intuition. And there's so many other examples that I can think of, which I'll share with you throughout the night. But the thing that I wanted to share with you first is that every time you ignore your intuition, there's always a consequence. There is always a price to pay when we ignore our truth. And whether we like it or not, no matter how much our mean girl tries to deny us or tell us that, oh no, this is the right way, there's always a price to pay. Recently, I can think of an example. I just got a new iPhone and I was like, no, I don't need the insurance. I don't need the insurance. My intuition was like, get the insurance. And I was like, no, I'll save. I've not smashed a phone. I'm not one of those people who cracks a phone. I buy a brand new iPhone and I smash it that first day. And I was like, what the hell? And that's what I call dumb tax. I had to pay dumb tax because I ignored my intuition, so it's dumb tax. And another example is when at the start of this year, I went to Perth for my book tour, and again, I get to the car hire place, and my intuition was like, get the insurance, and I was like, no, save. You won't have an accident. You'll drive really careful. I ran over a pot plant and scratched the entire side of the car. There was some more dumb tax that I had to pay. And this has happened to me in relationships. You know, my intuition has told me to not date that guy, and maybe that guy wasn't the nicest of people, and he ended up cheating on me. And again, there was some dumb tax that I had to pay there emotionally. A lot of money as well on therapy. Like seriously, a lot. And you know, there was another situation actually many years ago where I brought someone into my business and my intuition said to me, she's probably not the right person. And I was like, my mean girl was like, no, she's good on paper and she's this, and this, and she ticks all of these boxes. And my intuition was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not too sure why, but it just doesn't feel right. But because my mean girl wanted to know logically exactly why I didn't want her to be in part of my business, she overruled and won. And then, yeah, this situation ended up with a lot of dumb tax, a lot of a legal case and lots of lawyers' fees, and that was a hefty dumb tax fee that I had to pay there. So over the years, I have learned that the more you ignore your intuition, the higher the dumb tax and the stronger the consequence. And no matter how much we try and trick this, it doesn't work. I've tried. But this isn't something that I've always learned. I didn't even know what my intuition was 10 years ago. I had no idea. But I realized that the more and more I live from that intuitive place, my life flows a lot more effortlessly. And it's a lot more joyful and a lot more fun. And there's a lot less dumb tax along the way. So tonight I want to share with you 2 ways that really help strengthen your intuition muscle, because it's a muscle. It's something that has to be practiced all the time. And it's like anything, the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. It's one of those things that you can't just practice it, in one area of your life or occasionally. The more you practice this in every area of your life, like whether it's with friendships or your health or in your career, whatever it is, it feeds out into every area. Another example for me is in the past, I've ignored my intuition when my body was telling me to slow down or to not push my body. And my mean girl's like, no, go to the gym anyway. You need to go to the gym. You ate that chocolate cake last night or whatever it is. And I've ended up really unwell and then in bed for the next 2 weeks because I didn't listen to my intuition. So there's always a price to pay. Always. My whole entire life and my whole entire business is built on intuition. And I remember having a business coach one time, and he said to me, well, what's your 6-month to 12-month business plan? I was like, I don't know, I'll tell you when I get there. And he's like, but no, Melissa, you need a full-on plan. And I was like, but things evolve and change. And yes, I agree that you do have to have goals and you do have to have plans and things like that. But a lot of the way I live my life is very much built on intuition. So before we dive into how to strengthen it, I want you guys to think about a time in your life where you have ignored your intuition and maybe you had to pay a little bit of dumb tax, whether it was financially or emotionally or something like that. And I want you to write these down. And maybe you have 1 or maybe you have 15. I hope there's not 15. But I just want you to become clear and bring awareness to these areas in your life where you have ignored your intuition. And if you don't have any, just raise your hand. So everyone has at least 1. Okay, cool. So just take a note, write them down. They can be something recently, or it can be, years ago. Just any time in your life where you have ignored your intuition and there was a consequence. Maybe it's in your business, with a relationship, with your health. Any that come to your mind first, just write them down. And then when you're finished, you can just look up so I know who's finished writing. It's so important to write this stuff down. Getting it out of our head and onto paper helps us grow. And I'm a massive believer that everything happens for a reason. And I don't regret any of those dumb tax things that I was telling you before, because they've all shaped and molded me into the person that I am today. But if I had have listened to my intuition, I may have, saved myself a little bit of money and time and energy. But it's all perfect. Everything's always unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to. I'm a massive believer in that. But in order for us to grow and evolve, which is what we're here for, is to grow and evolve, we have to shine light on this stuff. We have to become aware of it so that we can grow. If we're constantly just walking around with our head in the sand, we can never see our areas of growth. So let's hear a couple. Do you want to share one of yours?
It's a bit of a silly one, but I often eat food that I know is going to make me feel sick.
Yeah. So eating food that you know is going to make you feel sick. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mine was when I finished high school and I sort of knew that I wanted to go travelling and have a gap year, and I sort of heard everyone around me going straight to uni and thought maybe I should. And I went to uni to do a degree that I really didn't want to do, and within a few weeks I was like, I can't do this, and ended up having the gap year anyway, but that was the time when I was at first didn't listen.
Yes.
Really should have, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. What about you? Do you have one? Yeah.
I think one was when I bought a plate and I knew that I was messing it up. I knew something was wrong with it. So I bought insurance, but it turned out that I actually bought it for completely the wrong one.
I missed all of that.
So I bought a flight.
A flight. Right.
I felt that I was like, there's something wrong when I was buying it. So I bought insurance while I was buying it.
And there was something wrong?
Yeah, it was the wrong month.
Amazing. Nice one. Very smart cookie. Yes, what about you?
Mine was just about a guy that I was dating, similar situation.
He was a douche?
Yeah. Exactly, ended up cheating on me.
Yeah.
So I was an emotional mess for like ages.
Yeah. Who else can relate to that one? Yeah. Like everyone in the room, pretty much. Yeah. What about you? Have you got one?
There's a few there. One of them was employing staff.
Yep.
You get that feeling and you go, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine.
Yeah. Like your intuition's like, no, and your mean girl's like, no, but she's great on paper.
Yeah.
Or she can do this, or she can do this, and she can do this. And your intuition's like, don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is, and I can't put my finger on it. And your mean girl's like, no, she's great. She ticks all these boxes. Yeah. Who else can relate to that one? Yeah. Have you got one?
Mine would be probably a bunch of different relationships with people.
Yeah.
Whether it's work or personal or, but when you kind of in your head going, this isn't right, the way that they're treating me or the way they're responding to an environment, and then you just keep pushing.
Yep.
Probably should have been put to bed much earlier.
Yes.
Not even given a chance to get that bad.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, gorgeous?
I had a couple, but literally just then about which direction in the road to take, and I took the wrong one when I knew I should have gone the other way, but the phone told me the other one, and it caused me so much stress. Yeah. What about you, Nick?
Mine was with a job a few years ago. I just knew it wasn't right for me, but I accepted it anyway because I thought, ticks all the boxes, and I was miserable for months.
Yeah.
Started acting out because I hated it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, what about you? Yes.
Mine was sometimes going out when I know I don't really want to be going out or whatever, and I get there and I hate it. It just makes me really annoyed myself.
I think, can everyone relate to that one? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Who's got one we haven't mentioned? Yes.
Mine's like a bit of a gambling one. I don't know, but I'm not a gambler.
I was like, okay.
No, but I've never I don't understand shares, but I have
some. I don't even know how many that my grandparents gave me. Not like, I'm not rich, but you know. But I just knew they were there, and I was in this meeting with my husband, and he was talking with his accountant about Xero, if you know Xero. And they were like, yeah, they've just floated on the stock market, and I just went, I should look at those shares, they're going to go up. Like just something bang, and I looked at it and they were like, and I rang someone and they said, you have to fill out this paperwork, and I didn't do it because that's overwhelming. And they quadrupled or like whatever from the time that I looked. And to this day, when I see an ad, I go, and it was just, I just knew, I don't know anything about shares, but I knew.
Yes.
So
Wow.
there's a lesson somewhere, no regret.
Yes, yes, exactly. Who else has got some other ones we haven't mentioned yet? Yes.
Mine's a positive one. I was in the process between choosing between two people to call, and something in my intuition told me to pick this person for this situation, and it ended up being like one of the most long-standing working and like personal relationships I had.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
Every time I see her, I always think like, oh, what would happen if I hadn't made that phone call? Like if I had chosen the other person.
Yes. Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be a negative, you know. Yeah, that's awesome. Did you have one too?
Yes, mine was when I was living in London, I decided that I wanted to move house because one of my flatmates basically had a girlfriend who was over all the time, and it was just kind of encroaching on the space. And one of my good friends suggested that we move in together, but as much as I loved her, I knew that we probably wouldn't live well together.
Yep.
And we also picked an area that was really random because there was a pub there that we liked, and it just was not the right decision. And actually the flat ended up being a nightmare for like the 9 months, and we couldn't get out of the lease, and we had like tons and tons of problems with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah, that is. Yes.
I think actually from the last goddess group when we were talking about playing big, there's just been so many times where I've had that intuition to take that leap, to take that step. Sometimes I do it, but every time that I haven't done it, I've absolutely regretted it. Like, you know, everything that everyone's mentioned, school, boys, relationships, just like not getting out of any situation when I knew it was the time to leave. And then just, you know, any time where it was like, you can do this and it might be scary, and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a lot of times.
Yep. Yep. Anyone else got any others that we haven't mentioned? Yes.
I didn't rest recently, and I knew I was really, really sick, and I just soldiered on, and I got pneumonia.
Yep. That's fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, like I shared before, the same for me. I've pushed through not feeling ideal so many times, and you end up 10 times worse. Yeah. Anyone else got any others that we haven't? Yes?
About 18 months ago, I got a book deal.
Nice.
I didn't publicise it, I didn't tell anyone except for close friends. I don't know why, but I just didn't feel that it was right to share it. They wanted to take it in a totally different direction. And I had to take legal action to get them from printing and pay a lot of money for legal fees and also get out of the contract. But now I'm with another publisher. So much better deal. And it will come out in March next year.
Yay. And so, was your intuition from day one saying don't go with them?
Yeah, which is why I probably didn't tell anyone about it. If I had publicised it, then I would have to have said that it had failed. And that I'd known kind of all along really that it was never going to get to this stage.
Yes, yes. Because no matter what we try and tell ourselves, or what we let our mean girl tell us, like our intuition is so much more powerful and so much stronger than that voice. Although our mean girl, you know, can logically put into words, but she's good on paper, or but this is an amazing book deal, or I might not get another book deal, and your intuition's kind of like, I don't know how to articulate it just yet, but don't go down that street. Just don't go there. But your ego wants to know, well, why? Well, show me why I shouldn't take this book deal. And you're just like, I don't know just yet. And then you take that step, and then you realize with hindsight, oh, okay, that's why I didn't make that move, or that's why that happened. But sometimes we have to go through that and have that little bit of dumb tax to get that insight.